Oh yes, the Nintendo Wii console. It's a good console that you could easily smash your fingers into the button and scream in pain. To the point being where I actually went ahead and made it in Minecraft, but I was thinking, let's throw that out the window for the sec with the idea of building it in Minecraft. Could I present to you the Wii U? With its built-in HDMI port and its 4 extra games. So in today's video, we're gonna go ahead and make a Wii U in Minecraft. And hopefully, I don't come down to the conclusion that I've got to make this thing in landscape mode instead of portrait mode. And this has taken way too longer than anticipated, just like the other working Wii in Minecraft. So like and subscribe for the sake of this project, and let's get into it, shall we? And also, yeah. Okay, so this is what the Nintendo Wii looked like in the past, and obviously we want to try our best to upgrade this Nintendo Wii console into the Nintendo Wii-U console. So first things first, all I did is simply use the structure block and copy and paste the screen, as the screen's going to be the exact same size, but the console is going to be on its landscape side, not on its portrait side. Then the next task was to find a random blank space, an area, which definitely doesn't really have a weird, strange tree in the background, where there's not even any trees surrounding it, and it's just in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, then totally get a massive big distraction in the sense that I found a massive big hole right next to the Nintendo Switch 2 build, which yeah, was very, very strange and weird because I've never seen that before, but I will. Anyway, moving on. And now all I have to do is just paste in the screen right there. Only then until I realising it was far too big in the first place, so I ended up shrinking it down to probably a really nice size, and that ended up working out quite nicely. And also, yeah, and since it was copied and pasted, all I had to do is just sort out the rough terrain that was around the screen, and then yeah, and then I could simply just go ahead and move on to the next stage, which was to basically simply just go ahead and just make where I was working on the project just a little bit more flatter, because as you can see the ground is not exactly flat. So I basically went around the whole entire perimeter of where the Wii U was going to go, and yeah, made sure it was all nice and flat and all. So yeah.
So sweet to me, this is where I wanna be. On up with you, supersonic, we're on fire, rockin' love alive. On up with you. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, how you feeling? Yeah, yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, how you feeling? Yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, how you feeling? Yeah, yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, how you feeling?
Now you're possibly wondering how on earth I managed to make all this area flat, even if there was a little tiny cave in there. Well yeah, it turns out I ended up having to move the cave just a couple of blocks out. So and then that means it could still have daylight, but it would have daylight a couple more blocks outwards, and it would not interfere with my project. But then the next task was to go ahead and start to build the case, but then without even realising I didn't even take any screenshots or video proof whatsoever of me just building the case, so I'll just take you to the next scene. And the next task was to try my best and try and mimic almost like the redstone from one project, from the working Wii project into the working Wii U project, and this was a bit more challenging as I had to use, as in some points I even had to get 2 controllers out and work with 2 players, both at the exact same time, just so then I could see what was going on in the working Wii to then end up mimicking it in the working Wii U. This was very tricky and difficult. So actual difficult now, to the point being where this was actually 2 months ago from now, which is crazy to realise that type of progress was like 2 months ago. And it's also crazy to be honest to still see that the fact I still have 3,000 photos. How did it get that high? I don't know. And then my game crashed. So, whilst waiting for my game to uncrash, I ended up starting to work on another project, just on a little bit of a side quest, as I noticed that, oh god, this video is going to take me at least another month or 2, because at this rate, I am getting in a little bit of a puzzle confusion because of the fact that redstone has kind of just made the whole entire project crash ever so slightly, and I can't really work on the world that much in that area, so Yeah. With the mini little tiny type of a project, I ended up putting some redstone beaming lights and stuff like that. Originally they were red. Anyway, moving on. So once that was done, I ended up coming back to the project and basically coming down to the conclusion of me adding another pink and turquoise line in, and actually, generally speaking, I was actually getting rid of an old line that I didn't actually need, and then it came down to the conclusion where this happened. Where the stupid redstone was playing up as well. Yeah, that was starting to play up, and that got me very, very confusing, as I only just started to come back to the project after like a month or two not being on it, because I was doing another separate project, and I was doing the Secret Channel Challenge series, but yeah, it's like, can this project get any worse? I don't know. But then until I realised what a stupid, dumb mistake I made. So basically, all I have done is basically looped the whole entire thing. Essentially, because something was getting power off from the mains power, and then I tried to cancel that power off. It was basically... And then that cancel power grid was only turning on when the power was being cancelled when it was off. So then when the system was on, the system was still on, but I was trying to cancel out the power, and then because the system was still on, it was going off and on. So that was causing a little bit of a ground loop. But luckily enough, I noticed that ground loop and managed to build a timer onto it. So then before it gets power, it has to wait like 5 seconds before it can cancel itself out and just go from the mains power source rather than going from a separate source. So yeah, and now it works quite well now. So yeah. And then the last step and stage of this project was to figure out what I was going to do with the other button. I didn't have a clue, to be honest, on what the other button could have been or done. So I ended up just making it the disk drive. As the disk drive, I ended up making like from all the way back from when I started this project, and then it was never wired up to anything. So that is quite a useless button at the moment, and all it does is if you press the button, the disk drive opens. If you unpress the button, the disk drive closes, and that's it. But hey, at least now that redstone is not completely useless now. Only problem is it possibly takes up way more of the redstone than it is, but at least I managed to fit it right next to the other off and on switch for this project. Without that further ado, I say that this project is now done. Yippee! It's not like it's taken me 2 or 3 months to build it. Jesus Christ. Because the amount of problems that I've been doing in the past, that's why.